Hey everybody, I'm Zack Hall, and he's the champion, Ray Karkman. Congratulations, man.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it, Zach.
Nice tournament, nice game. You didn't lose a match.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Right, so it was 5 wins in a row, intentional draw through round 6 and 7. Held top seed into round 6, even with the intentional draws, still had it. So going into the final 8, I was able to play at my leisure, right? So there's no die rolls, and I just always get option on round 1, game 1.
Yeah, and you needed it against Jund.
Big time.
Or not John, Abzan. That was we saw your top 8 and your finals match, both crazy matches, like so close. I said when you were playing against Nick in the top 8, I'm like, all right, he's gonna lose. He needs to drop a bridge right now, and then a 4-drop next turn.
Yeah.
Bridge. 4-drop. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it's swingy,
sure.
and you know, it's so often with decks, it's like you get halves of it or thirds of it, and you just hope that you draw.
You have
the right
to.
half.
In Modern, you have to.
Right. Because you're trying to do everything.
Yeah.
And what I opt for in this particular build, which is called Pyro Prison, is, and it's just straight mono red control, is 100% reaction. And that's similar to what was out there by Saffron Olive, what deck that was called All in Red, Free Win Red. Too often I'm mistaken for it. But the significant difference is that I'm bringing in more aggressive lines, principally the Goblin angle. So it's the 4 Goblin Rabble Masters, the Mutavault, which doubles as a Goblin. Then you've got the P and Kieran, and my latest
Siege
spice.
Gang.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. How about that action?
I love it.
Siege Gang Commander. For as much as people tout the power of P and Kieran being a 3-for-1, Siege Gang is 4-for-1.
Yeah.
Right.
Little variants of the mana curve.
No doubt. No doubt.
I like it.
Cheers.
I remember seeing you play this to a top 8. I figured it was January or February, but you had like Crystal Ball main deck. You had a lot of differences. One that stands out to me now is Tormenting Voice.
Yeah.
I saw that today. I'm like, wow, this makes me want to play that deck because finally the deck has card selection, like a reasonable rate. It's a cool addition.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. I've got a thread that's on MTG Salvation in the Dex Creation thread under Modern. It's called Pyro Prison Hammer Slammer, the sideboard deck. Right, and making it an homage to Kotha the Hammer, who was once a principal part of the deck, and now he's just a singleton. And when I originally put my toe in the water on Tormenting Voice, I commented that the second I went with 1, it seemed to only make sense that you had to go to 3 to 4. And one of the other posters, his name is Amok, he absolutely agreed. And yet, it's a real leap of faith to go for Tormenting Voice, which is a sorcery, 1 red, 1 colorless, discard a card as part of the cost, and then draw 2. Yeah. So indeed, either A, you get countered and you're smoked out, you lost it. Right, Spell Snare is very easy. Or you're hellbent when you draw it and you can't cast it.
Yeah.
But the way that I could kind of reconcile that drawback is to simply understand that so much of this deck with 4 Chalice of the Void, 6 Blood Moon, including Magus of the Moon, 4 Ensnaring Bridge, the principal power lock suite of those things need to get achieved as quickly as possible, and then after they're achieved, you don't need them in duplicate.
Exactly.
So go ahead, ditch out, draw deeper into the deck, find your win cons, which is principally your Planeswalkers, I call them Flame Walkers, and find your Goblins.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the perfect prison. I mean, I play Lantern, right? So I'm all about the prison strategy, but this is an amazing prison strategy because it can actually close out the game quickly. Unlike Mill 1, like this Chandra Ultimate. I saw you Chandra Ultimate like 8 times today or something.
Right.
Like, incredibly powerful.
And yet I only run 3 of her because as good as 4 is, goes back to that earlier statement of redundancy. Yeah. And you can only bring her out so fast with so much effectiveness where I don't have the blockers, I don't necessarily have the removal with her.
And she has other uses. I mean, I thought you were done in this finals match. I'm like, oh, he can't clear his hand for the Ensnaring Bridge. You play Chandra, add 2 red mana, play Ensnaring Bridge. You have 1 card in hand. Yeah. It's like, oh, she does that too, right? She has 4 abilities.
Right. And every single one is critical. So the second I saw her, immediately got added, and prior to her release, it was Chandra...
the 4-mana one, Pyromaster.
Pyromaster, right.
Yeah, which is...
just a pale shadow of what she can bring to the table. Yeah. My best play with her today was against Tron. I'm on the draw. She goes Tron Peace Land. I go Mountain. She goes Tron Peace Land, and then snaps the turn 1 Exploration map.
Yeah, the map.
The map,
Expedition.
right? Now she's got 3. One's in hand, but she can tron next turn.
Yeah.
I snap down a second mountain on board, fire 3 rituals in a row. Put down Chandra, add her 2 red with the 1 lingering mana earlier, slam Moon on the board.
Nice.
And the game was just there in hand.
Go from 2 mana to 7 mana.
Right.
I remember when the decks would accelerate out Deus of Calamity or Demigod of Revenge. That's so weak compared to what you can do now.
Yeah. And the Chandra just obviously becomes a continuing threat on board.
Yeah.
So much of what's here is that X for 1 ability where you're constantly getting value left and right.
Yeah, except in that last game. Where like Mountain Gemstone, Spirit Guide.
And then really I won on the back of a bridge.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's always the third game of the finals is the best game of the tournament. I don't know how it's always like that.
Yeah.
But every tournament I do, it's like that. And that was no exception. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, really fun. Really fun. You guys ran an excellent tournament here at TJ's. The Titanium series has been phenomenal. This is my second go at it. Actually, third go. 2 of them I top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
This is a real deck. I mean, you're the only person on the planet probably who plays it, but it's a real deck.
Yeah.
And like, if someone wants to pick this up, can you talk to me about your best matchup and your worst matchup?
Sure. Best is probably, now this is going to sound bizarre, but Infect. I mean, how can you really say that? I mean, and anybody can nut on a draw and pull it down, but I love that one. Merfolk Fish. Just any deck where the moon shuts off their mana sources or the bridge takes their linear win con away. And if it's just rush, then I'll just go with sweepers and bridge down. Worst matchup's going to go towards blue control.
Sure.
Principally blue Tron, because their Tron lands, if I Blood Moon them out, is gravy. I mean, they're generating a pretty streamlined mana stream coming out. They've got the mana rocks. They're searching. They're countering. They've got repeal for bounce. They can selectively choose what they need to stop with what I'm doing. So that's a bit of a nutcracker. And then Abzan can give me some noise as well.
Sure. Basically, decks that Ensnaring Bridge is not just good game.
Right.
Yeah.
If they're going to start cocoing and courting, Eternal Witnessing, and then they've got Rex Sages, Kasali Pride Mage. I mean, at some point, it's throwing cards in the air.
I really like it. If they want to learn more about this deck, they go to MTG Salvation, just the forums there.
Right. So it's MTG Salvation. It's in the modern thread. There are 4 tiers of what you can find. I believe it's the deck creation, and again, it's called Pyro Prison, Hammer Slammer. The sideboard deck. I just did an update on the primer.
Nice.
Yeah, so the official primer's got a lot more information on matchups, critical spell selections, some sideboarding advice. So yeah, by all means, check it out. I'd love to hear some voices and some contributors.
Cool. Well, Ray Karkman, Zack Hall, coming to you from TJ's, and we're ending at TJ's. Congratulations, Ray.
Thank you again, man. Excellent.